Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we're diving into a really fascinating investigation. We're looking at a world that is just packed with massive promises and incredibly shiny marketing. Yep, we're breaking down the data behind the golf equipment industry. You know the drill, right? Every single year, we're told that the next massive breakthrough is finally here, just waiting to completely transform how we play. But is that actually true? Today, we're looking at the hard evidence to uncover the mirage of revolutionary golf technology. We're going to put all that slick marketing under a microscope, using the data directly to see what's actually real and what's, well, just an illusion. And it really all starts right here. You want to be a consistent golfer. I mean, you know the exact feeling. You're standing out there on the fairway and you're dealing with that deep, agonizing frustration of inconsistent ball striking. One day, you're hitting it pure, and the absolute next day, you feel like you've literally never swung a club in your life. It is absolutely maddening. And honestly, it creates a very specific vulnerability that marketers know exactly how to target. Okay, let's dive into this, because this question is the absolute core of our investigation today. When you feel that frustration creeping in and you see that slick new ad for a supposedly revolutionary club, you really have to ask yourself, is this new tech a forever solution, or is it just a really expensive distraction? Are you actually buying a better game, or are you just kind of buying a temporary feeling of hope? To answer that, we need to map out how this whole cycle actually works. Let's start with phase one, the quest for consistency. This is that eternal journey every single golfer is on. The research pinpoints exactly what hurts the most: the total lack of precision in your scoring clubs. It's one thing to miss a drive, right? But when you have a wedge in your hand and you just cannot control the outcome, oof, that is where the frustration really peaks. That lack of precision in the exact clubs that are specifically designed to help you score is the ultimate pain point, and it sets the stage for absolutely everything that follows. And of course, that vulnerability leads us directly into phase two, the cycle of newness. So the industry's response to your frustration? It's an endless, relentless cycle of brand new releases. Every season, there's a new miracle cure. I mean, we've seen it all, haven't we? Curved faces that supposedly defy traditional physics, one-length irons that promise to magically simplify your setup, bizarre shaft configurations that look like they belong on a spaceship instead of a golf course. These are all supposed innovations, released to falsely promise a quick fix to what is, let's face it, a deeply complex game. Which brings us to the ultimate irony of the entire equipment industry: the promise versus the reality. The marketing promise is basically always the exact same: buy this and fix your game quickly. But the reality? The reality is that these supposed innovations often do the exact opposite. They end up complicating your game, and honestly, worse, they cost you a small fortune in the process. You're literally paying top dollar to make the game harder for yourself? Crazy, right? But look, we aren't just going to rely on anecdotes here. We're moving to phase three, the A-Vodalab test. Enter our prime test subject, the A-Voda irons. Featuring an unconventional, highly experimental approach to club length and weighting, they perfectly represent every shiny new promise the industry makes. If we really want to know if revolutionary tech actually works, this is exactly what we need to test. So to find the truth, the lab ran a completely rigorous club-by-club test. And the methodology here is brilliantly simple but incredibly thorough. Step 1, track every single yard. Step 2, track every single spin rate. The real beauty of this is that the lab is doing the heavy lifting so that you don't have to risk your own hard-earned money to find out if this is a forever solution. The numbers, as they say, will not lie to us. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what we uncovered next. We're calling it phase 4, the wedge glitch. When you're testing brand new, highly expensive wedges, your baseline expectation is perfectly controlled, consistent gaps between your clubs. That's the bare minimum for precision. But the actual reality in the lab? Uncontrollable sky-high moonshots. The unpredictable center of gravity in these experimental designs caused the technology to completely and utterly fail at delivering the very consistency it was engineered to create in the first place. It was so bad that the researchers actually described this complete loss of control as a glitch in the system. The wedges offered absolutely zero predictability. Instead of being this amazing revolutionary breakthrough, the technology broke down exactly when the golfer needed it most. And this brilliantly illustrates just how far the reality is from the promise, because not only did the clubs offer these uncontrollable moonshots, but the super aggressive face milling actually shredded premium golf balls. Just think about the irony of that for a second. You spend a fortune on revolutionary wedges only for their excessively sharp grooves to literally destroy your expensive golf balls on impact. Talk about the ultimate lose-lose scenario for both your wallet and your scorecard. So, having survived the laboratory test and all those shredded golf balls, we arrive at Phase 5, the value of tradition. Let's move to this and see how it builds our final perspective, because it really presents two very different paths. On one side, you have chasing trends, constantly buying into the absolute newest gimmick, which the data clearly proves is just an expensive distraction. And on the other side, picking a lane, actually committing to a proven, traditional set of clubs. The data strongly proves that picking a lane is far, far more valuable than riding the chaotic roller coaster of revolutionary trends. So the crucial point is perfectly summarized by this shift in mindset. By just ignoring the noise, you get to do three incredibly important things. You save your money, you keep your sanity, and most importantly, you return to the game that actually works for you. You step off that exhausting treadmill of newness and get back to the true fundamentals of playing golf. Which leaves us with this final, powerful question to consider the next time a flashy commercial promises to fix your swing overnight. Based on absolutely everything we've uncovered from the data today, will you chase the next trend or will you return to the game that actually works? The evidence is clear, but the choice is completely up to you. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and we will catch you next time.